Buddy Cop. Today I'm going to go over 5 tips for training hygiene in Muay Thai. So this goes for new students, current students, future prospective students, everybody. If you train Muay Thai, you're thinking about training Muay Thai, these 5 tips are for you. All right. So number one, first is wash your hand wraps. All right. Hand wraps, that's what you wear inside of your glove. It's very important. I see it time and time again, even though it's written on the board, we make videos like this. It's on our social media, it's in our newsletters. Our coaches, our instructors always reiterate it. I still see people do it all the time. They'll put their hand wraps inside of their bag, and they don't wash them, and they reuse them. Oh, like it makes me want to gag. You have these people, they're like, hey, can you help me with my hand wraps? Right? Like, hey, these are still moist. Did you just get these out of the washer? And they're like, no, it's from last time. Don't be that guy. Make sure to wash your freaking hand wraps. All right. So after you use them, you gotta wash them. All right. Get multiple pairs. I recommend having at least 2 throughout the week. That way you can alternate wash. It's always gonna be better if you can air dry them. It'll make the Velcro on them last longer if you have the Velcro ones. Next step, all right, is making sure. Number 2 is to wipe down your gear and air it out. All right. So there's one thing, like here at our academy, we provide sanitary wipes and sprays to be able to sanitize your equipment, your shin guards, your headgear, your gloves, right? So it's very important to have clean gloves, right? But then you have to make sure to air it out when you get home. So if you keep it in your bag and it stays in your car, it gets nice and hot, it just lets all that bacteria fester. You want to make sure when you bring it home, open up the glove, turn the Velcro backwards so the glove opens up, have it sit out, have your shin guards sit out. That way they can air out and they can ventilate properly. If you can have them in the sun, that is even better. And that goes into the hand wraps, because if you have clean hand wraps and dirty gloves, guess what? Those hand wraps are getting dirty, right? And then you're grabbing people with your hand wrap afterwards. It's gross. Not a good situation. And the thing is, there's stuff like staph and ringworm. If you're not familiar with staph infections are something that can actually kill somebody. All right. So by you or your training partner, whoever it is that's not maintaining their hygienic practices in Muay Thai Academy, then you could actually kill somebody. So serious this stuff is. It's extreme, but it can happen. Right? Staph infections are no joke. All right. Next one, is going to be tip number 3. Tip number 3 is to bring a towel to training. All right. Especially those heavy sweaters. Your training partner is not going to be mad at you if you wipe down yourself between training, especially if you're clinching, you're hitting the bag, your partner drills in the bag. To wipe yourself down in between. For me, I sweat a lot too. I get it. Bring a towel. Wipe down the mat where you're training, so that way no one slips. Especially like the heavy sweaters. Bring a towel. If you're training here at our academy, it's actually one of the rules that's on our rules and regulations and guidelines at the academies. All right, so make sure you do that. All right, follow that rule. Your training partner is going to thank you. I'm going to thank you. Your coach is going to thank you, and the person who is not doing push-ups in your puddle of sweat will thank you. Tip number 4 is to keep your fingernails and your toenails trimmed. All right, your fingernails and toenails, very important. Fingernails especially, because when you're clinching or you're doing technical work, if your fingernails are long, you're going to be leaving scratch marks on somebody. Let me guess, their partner, if they don't train, like if their significant other, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife doesn't train, they're going to have weird scratch marks on their neck. It's going to be kind of weird, right? So we want to make sure to respect our training partners, keep our fingernails trimmed nice and short for that reason, and our toenails, all right? I understand you go from work, all this stuff. The thing is, if you are sparring, you must keep your toenails and fingernails trimmed. Those toenails, I've had people leave scars in my arm from them deciding that, this rule doesn't apply to me, right? And like I was talking about the staph infections in the previous tips, you can get really nasty infections from that, especially if like their blood or their sweat gets inside of it, or the bacteria underneath their toenail. So you have to really make sure that you keep your fingernails and toenails trimmed, right? It is a rule. You turn people away from sparring because their toenails aren't trimmed. It's part of the rules and regulations for Muay Thai as well, as to have your toenails trimmed. Number 5, this one is a no-brainer for us, always has been, always will be, is do not train or show up to the academy if you are sick. All right, what is sick? Hey, you have a pretty bad headache and you feel like you might be getting ill. You have extra sniffles and they're definitely not allergies. All right, your throat's starting to get sore, getting sick, right? Those little things, please respect your training partners, your team, your coaches, the staff. Very, very important, right? Especially if anybody in your team's competing or anything like that too. It's really high risk because you're around other people, right? You don't know how sick you are or how sick you're going to be, but go sweat it out somewhere else. Don't come to the Muay Thai Academy and come sweat it out. Go outside, go for a run, whatever you gotta do. Go to like a private sauna, private jacuzzi, take a hot bath, hot shower, whatever you need to do to be able to sweat out. But you're not gonna come here and sweat out. All right. I'm here to sweat out. There's the door, man. Love to have you in here, but not for that reason. Thing is, if our coaches get sick, then we have no classes, right? So that's not what you want. You want to be able to train. You want your training partners to be able to train. So please be considerate of others when it comes into that. So that is my 5 tips for hygienic practices in Muay Thai. 5 hygiene tips for you. All right. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you like these tips. Also, if you are not following us on TikTok, go follow us on TikTok at Pu'u Muay Thai and Instagram at Pu'u Muay Thai. All right. Have a great day.